17 birds. Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. I know a guy if you want 17 birds. Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. They had me 6 hours, I said 17 words. I'm like Shady in the snow, I spun them so superb. A legend still remains when his flesh is in the earth. And if they raid your tomb, may they fall upon a curse. Yeah, this 9 I keep for backup. With this I wanted chip, we ran plays. They need to build a statue for this shit. Big plays, a sleigh couldn't get you through this shit. More grams than Brandon, fiends rushing for a hit. The priest sitting out a diner while you niggas giving tips. You gon' get a C-section, all that pushing through your lips. I hold it desert straight, a shooter told me do my dips. You're just photogenic, not a boss, I'm convinced. Niggas practicing hard for them obituary pics. Shooters watching the gram for them locations of your pics. Linebacker Brunson, call me if you wanna hit. We world champs now, that just come with this shit. Let's go! You want 17 birds? Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. Hit my line if you want 17 birds. Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. I know a guy if you want 17 birds. Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. I know a guy if you want 17 birds. Big ring, I play for the 17 birds.
The Commission.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Let me get a thumbs up if y'all can hear me loud and clear, man. It's Lord Brunson back at you with the back at you. And I am the best reporting on the Eagles. Can you hear me loud and clear? Can you hear me loud and clear? Are we steering clear from everything that's there and there? So we good. Let's talk about it. So as y'all know, we're gonna get right into it, how we do and in the fashion that we do it. So as y'all know, Hasson Reddick is drawing interest. This is coming down as early as this morning. They are talking about I think it was the Atlanta Falcons. Also, let me find it. Let me get right. They're talking about the Atlanta Falcons and the Arizona Cardinals being linked to Eagles linebacker Hasson Reddick. I don't know how I feel about it. Y'all know my thoughts. Y'all know my feelings on the entire Hasson Reddick Philadelphia Eagles situation. I really felt like the Philadelphia Eagles should have did something to get that done for sure for Hasson Reddick, but it is what it is. They were unable to get it done. That's what it's seeming like. That's what it's sounding like. That's how it sounds that this thing is going. You know what I mean? At the very moment, sad, unfortunate. I believe that Hasson Reddick is one of those guys that you absolutely need, in order to make this Super Bowl run happen. You know what I mean? I believe it. You know what I mean? That he is one of those guys that you need to have on this team if you want to get to the promised land and be hoisting up. Hold on, let me see, where is that? Let me find it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get back to getting one of these, if you want to get one of these, Hasson Reddick is a guy you need to have on your roster. So I don't understand really what the Philadelphia on with this Hasson Reddick thing. And I'm not one of those guys that think Hasson Reddick got to go. You know what I'm saying? What got to go is the mindset and the notion that, guys, when they reach a certain age that they can't perform no more. Where's the proof that Hasson Reddick can't perform? Let me say what's up to the people, man. Shout out my guy, Chris, My Vision in the building. Charlie G in the building. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the building. Shout out to y'all, man. All the moderators everywhere. The vibe. Stu Vision, what up? I don't think you could win the Super Bowl without Hasson Reddick. I said it. I said it. I don't think you could get it done without Hasson Reddick. The point of bringing in Bryce Huff was not to replace Hasson Reddick. It was to put more firepower next to Hasson Reddick. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And everybody likes to throw out these statistics, 0 sacks, 1 pressure in the last 8-9 games, but y'all want to pay him $25 million on one of the worst defenses last year. He wasn't the reason why the defense was bad. Morale was down. You see, Bradbury still going to be here. Hasson Reddick wasn't one of the reasons why the team was bad. Y'all want to keep bringing up what he did down the stretch. I think that's lazy reporting. You know what I mean? To bring up what the man did down the stretch, but you forget what he did down the stretch last season If you don't knock Brock Purdy out that game, you might not even be in the Super Bowl last year. Let's be for real, because Jonathan Gannon wasn't good. Jonathan Gannon wasn't good. Haason Reddick basically gift wrapped the Philadelphia Eagles a trip to the Super Bowl. A trip to the Super Bowl. He gift wrapped it to us. I ain't forget. And I'm not going to act like that wasn't the case. I'm not going to sit here and say that we wouldn't have beat the San Francisco 49ers, but it sure as hell was easy without having a starting quarterback, wasn't it? Let's keep it a bean. Let's keep it a bean. The truth of the matter is this. The Philadelphia Eagles just don't value Haason Reddick, and somebody going to pay him on an open market. They don't value Haason Reddick. Edge rushers like Haason Reddick, who's able to go everywhere and do his job, they don't come. They don't come that easy. You know what I'm saying? They don't come that easy. They don't come that easy. Everybody, nah, Purdy wasn't coming to Philly and winning. You don't know that. You want to know why you don't know that? Because Haason Reddick didn't let it happen. Haason Reddick didn't let it happen. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. We got to call a spade a spade. If you don't think Haason Reddick is crucial to this team, then make it make sense. Make it make sense. We putting all our eggs in the basket of a guy in Bryce Huff who I absolutely love, but I only seen him do it one time. I'm going to keep it a bean. I ain't got time to waste my Saturday playing and pandering to the people. I saw Bryce Huff do it one time. I saw Haason Reddick do it 3 times. I like Bryce Huff. I like him more with Haason Reddick, though. I like him more with Haason Reddick. I don't like a scenario where Bryce Huff is the best edge rusher for us. Nolan Smith is unproven. When you want to win a Super Bowl, you got to do it with the guys who you've seen do it before. You know what I'm saying? People saying Haason Reddick being greedy. What? I don't like those. I don't like those ideas. I don't like those notions. Haason Reddick deserves to be getting at least $20 million a year. At least $20 million a year. The Commanders got a guy from Dallas who was a role player. What was his name, y'all? We talked about this in my last stream. He was a role player basically for the Dallas Cowboys, making $15 million a year. Haason Reddick, 14.5. Come on, man. That's some people just deserve their money, man, and it is what it is. That's my stance on that. I think Haason Reddick is crucial to this defense. Haason Reddick is by far, hands down, the best edge rusher on the roster. You know what I mean? You're putting a lot of weight on the shoulders of guys. I believe in Sweat. I believe in Huff. I hope Nolan Smith develops. But you're putting a lot on the shoulders of a lot of guys. Yeah, Armstrong, I think that was his name. You're putting a lot on the shoulders of other guys. You know what I mean? But hey, hopefully, if you don't give Haason his bag, I would love to see Smitty get extended if this is the case. But Haason Reddick going into the conference, that don't really bother me. I would like to have seen Haason Reddick, try to meet the team in the middle, even though I think that's unfair. To try to even say, I think I should meet y'all in the middle. When you look about the value of Haason Reddick, it's up there like top 6, top 7 guy in terms of compensation. That's just the facts. That's just the facts. You know what I mean? But, it's looking like Haason Reddick is gone. I'm here to talk about compensation. So if you're not going to pay him, let's at least get what you think he was worth. You know what I mean? Let's at least get what you think he was worth if you're not going to pay him. That's all I ask. That the front office get nothing less than a second-round pick for Haason Reddick. That's going to be tough to do. It's going to be tough to do because obviously we don't value him as such. So why would somebody else, give that up? But it might be somebody's going to value him enough to pay him more than 14.5. You know what I mean? D-Lo, what up? You know what I'm saying? You're not getting no first-round pick back for Haason Reddick. The maximum you're going to get is a second. Maybe you could get a third and a fifth. I would take that as well as a second, but you're not getting a first-round pick back for Haason Reddick. It's impossible. It is impossible to get a second-round pick back, but I would love to get a second-round pick back for Haason Reddick. You know what I mean? The compensation got to make sense, and it got to apply. I'll take a late second or a third. The compensation got to make sense, and it has to apply to, this year's draft, which is, moves like this. God's friends vid just dropped. I saw that. I saw you just emailed me that. I'm about to watch that in a second. Shout out my guy D'Angelo Xavier. God's friends video just dropped. You know what I mean? I wish I had a copy. We could have played it right here and watched it together. But we're gonna get into that though. We're gonna look at it. Tap in, follow my guy on his channel, D'Angelo Xavier. Go tap into that guy's friends. You know what I'm saying? But you're not getting the first for Hasson Reddick. I would like to take a second. You know, the Kenny Pickett situation just grinds my gears even more because you're planning on trading Hasson Reddick. You gave up, what was it, the 92nd pick in the draft. You gave up a top 100 pick. You could have saved that pick, bottled it up with Hasson Reddick, and probably went and got you a Patrick Surtain or something like that. A third in Hasson Reddick for an elite guy that you would absolutely like to extend. That make more sense, things like that. Those type of things make more sense. But going out there and wasting a top 100 pick on Kenny Pickett, you know what I'm saying? Going out there and trading Hasson Reddick, wasting a top 100 pick on Kenny Pickett, and picking up Will Grier. Did y'all hear that one? I'm not mad at that though. I'm not mad at the Will Grier pickup. But the Philadelphia Eagles added, you know, what I think is a camp arm to the scenario. Will Grier comes over from, I think he went over to, I think he came from New England, if I'm not mistaken. Let me find it right here. Here we go. Yeah, Will Grier came over from New England. You know what I mean? So now you got Kenny Pickett, Jalen Hurts, Will Grier, Tanner McKee. You got some camp arms in the rotation. I don't think this guy's making a roster. We all know that. You know, it just don't make no sense to go trade for Kenny Pickett, then go get a camp arm. Like, McKee is the best quarterback behind Jalen Hurts on his roster. It is. And I understand there's some value in guys like Kenny Pickett who has some starter experience, but it just don't make sense to me to trade Hasson Reddick, trade a pick for Kenny Pickett, and go get Will Grier. Hasson Reddick could have been packaged up for a day one difference maker. Maybe that's still the plan, but, you know, I would have liked to seen us be a little smarter. Now, listen, man, one thing I will say about the Philadelphia Eagles is we have, when it's time to go procure talent, we got that hands down. But sometimes some of the trades, who we value, some of those things are just head scratches to me because I got a hard time believing that anybody believes that Hasson Reddick is not a difference maker on this team, man. But yeah, man, make sure you go over there, Big Print Champs. Get your Dead to Me shirt, your Ski Mask Howie shirt, my I Love Jason Kelsey shirt, all of those things over there, man. Make sure you use code BULLY10. I'm going to put it back here on the bottom of the screen. Use code BULLY10 at checkout. You know what I'm saying? Them things going fast. We've been selling a lot of all of those shirts. Big Print Champs. Also, we're going to have the art pictures that could go in anybody man cave, any of the dope graphics that I've curated over the past. They're going to be available real soon by popular demand. You know what I'm saying? But it's one thing that I'm good to see, though. I'm good to see my dogs eating, man. I'm good to see stuff like this.
Merry Christmas, bro. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
My bad, y'all. Not that. My bad, man. Not that. We don't want to see nobody making a fool of themselves. You know what I mean? But it's good to see stuff like this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, run. Don't lose. I'm gonna win. I win. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, run.
I love it. I love Milton Williams. I love Jordan Davis. I love those guys out there, you know what I'm saying, keeping themselves conditioned. I love those guys staying out there, staying in shape, because this is a big year for them. I want a defensive tackle. I want to draft a defensive tackle or something. I feel like the presence of Fletcher Cox is going to be missed. I feel like the presence of Fletcher Cox is vastly underrated. You know what I'm saying? I want to see the competition in the defensive tackle room ratchet up, because if you ask me, you know what I mean, I understand that Jordan Davis is a first-round pick. Make no mistake about it, though. Nobody understand it like I do. Milton Williams is a first-round pick. But in my depth chart of the defensive tackles, I got Milton Williams ahead of Jordan Davis. I understand Jordan Davis is a first-round pick, but I have Milton Williams ahead of him. I think Milton Williams is right now the second-best defensive tackle on the roster behind Jalen Carter. You know what I'm saying? Behind Jalen Carter. I love it. I love it. And we talk about Paris Campbell or Parker for wide receiver 3. I talked about it in my last video, but since we all here together, 356 of us, live stream Saturday afternoon, early afternoon, I like Paris Campbell, man. I like the skill set. I like the size. I like the speed. You know, he ran a 4.3 coming out of college, around 6 foot even, like 208 pounds, something like that. He is what we wanted Quez Watkins to be. He can take a slant to the house. We know Quez got that capability, but Paris Campbell has more sure hands, 26 years old. I think Devontae Parker was brought into the NFL to be a bona fide number one, a stud coming out. But I think that Paris Campbell is the better fit for the Philadelphia Eagles. When you talk about meshing skill sets, you know what AJ brings to the table. You know what Smitty brings to the table. Paris Campbell could be that X factor. And then you got Kellen Moore, who could move guys around and scheme things open for guys. I think that Paris Campbell can stretch the field, put the fear of God in a few defenses, if you will. I like Paris Campbell to, win that job. I think Devontae Parker will be in a Julio Jones type role. I like Paris Campbell a lot, though, in that one, man. That was a good question for sure. So, in a nutshell, with Hasson Reddick potentially being gone, the draft might change for the Philadelphia Eagles. You might see a little more eyes on Chop Robinson now early in the draft. If you're gonna do away with Hasson Reddick, you know what I mean, because you drafted Nolan Smith number one last year. In the first round last year. I think you need to get you another defensive end, because in any attempt or in any situation where it don't pan out with Nolan Smith, or the start is too slow for Nolan Smith, you gotta understand that having somebody behind him makes sense. You know what I mean? BG is going to give you all he could give you, but you need a difference maker off the edge in today's league. Listen, I would not be surprised if Nolan Smith makes a crazy jump and get us a 9-10 sack season or whatever the case may be. But, at the end of the day, it comes down to how many guys you got in that rotation. You know what I mean? It just do. My guy, Devontae Jones, thank you for the super chat. Snead and Burns didn't leave for anything larger than a second and third. We ain't going to get much capital for Reddick. I'm sick. Only way I can see it being worth it if a player swap better be a very good one. I agree with that, man. I agree with that. And, a lot of Eagles fans are looking at the Snead thing and looking at, what was the compensation for him. But we got a large amount of money already tied up in that position. And we need to hold our cornerbacks accountable. We've seen them be all pros before. We got to give our cornerbacks the grace and the opportunity to try to bounce back. But yeah, man, I think a lot of people are undervaluing what Hasson Reddick brings to the table. And that's just what happens when you have, just the emotional connection with the stat sheets and what players have done in the last 8 weeks of the season. The whole defense was trash the last 8 weeks of the season. Body language was bad. Now, are y'all saying Jalen Carter is bad because Jalen Carter had a strong 7 weeks to start the season, then he disappeared? I don't hear nobody having them sentiments about, Jalen Carter. Why? Because he's cheap. The defense was bad in totality down the stretch. Everybody was bad down the stretch on that defense. You know what I mean? The best players were the guys who retired down the stretch. You know what I mean? Jason Kelce was still good down the stretch. Fletcher Cox was good. BG, was holding it. Fletcher Cox was phenomenal in his last game as a Philadelphia Eagle in the playoffs. Phenomenal. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you gotta see if these young guys can produce. Hasson Reddick was a vet OG, double-digit sacks on 3 teams. 3 teams. Double-digit sacks 4 consecutive years on 3 teams. Never been done in the history of the game. If Nolan Smith don't come out here and produce, then the Philadelphia Eagles made a mistake. Why put that pressure on Nolan Smith? Hasson Reddick, hometown grown guy, you know what I'm saying, from across the bridge. Hasson would have took 19-20. Hasson would have took 19-20. What's wrong with doing that? I don't get it. What's wrong with doing it? What's wrong with giving 19-20? He would have took that, man, because he liked to stay home. He liked to be near the people. Now he's going to go somewhere and hit Atlanta over the head for 25, 23. You know what I mean? And never be in the playoffs again for the rest of his life. Now, Atlanta got some things to look forward to. You do got Kirk Cousins, Bijan Robinson. You are loading up over there. So, anything can happen. But at the end of the day, man, letting Hasson Reddick walk out this door was a mistake. You got the 4th most cap space in the game. You know what I'm saying? The cap continues to go up yearly. You could have trimmed the fat somewhere else next year. You know what I'm saying? I doubt Bradbury is here next year. You could have trimmed the fat. Next year, you could have trimmed the fat, you know what I mean, and made up for that. because you got to extend Smitty. You could have trimmed the fat next year, but the Philadelphia Eagles, he wants 25. Where did you see reports of that? Where do you see reports of that? Y'all also thought that Hasson Reddick requested the trade. None of that was true. None of that was true. And, if you want me to be for real, man, honestly, I would have gave him 21. I would have gave him somewhere between 19 and 21. And I'm honestly proud of Hasson Reddick for standing his ground and knowing his worth. I'm proud of him for standing his ground and knowing his worth, man, because he going to go get that bag somewhere. Somebody going to pay him that bag. You know what I mean? Josh Sweat went out in a different fashion. They was prepared to part ways with Josh Sweat as well. He went through a whole total restructure to help the team. And his money is guaranteed. He'll get it next season on the back end. Hasson Reddick deserved to be paid now. He deserved to be paid now. You know what I'm saying? Dante Hill, thank you for the super chat. What's good? Which retirement hurts more, Kelsey, Fletcher, or BG next year? Also, who has more pressure, Jordan Davis or Nolan Smith? That's a good question. The retirement that hurt me the most was Kelsey, because Kelsey was still a top, probably the best center in the game still. Kelsey absolutely retired at the top of his game. And not only did he retire at the top of his game, he retired the season before we got a generational talent at the running back position in Saquon Barkley. Imagine Kelsey with Saquon Barkley, Landon Dickerson, Mailata. You know what I'm saying? Cam Jurgens still at guard if Kelsey is around. Lane Johnson. Imagine that. Imagine how that looks for the Philadelphia Eagles, how physical football will be for us. So that one hurt for sure. The most pressure next year is definitely on Jordan Davis. Fletcher Cox is out of the building. And it's not to take, anything away from Fletch or BG next year, because those will hurt as equal. But I think, BG and Fletch not at the top of their game no more like Kelsey was. I think Jordan Davis got the most pressure on him next year. Easily. The most pressure is on Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis has to come out here and stop the run. He got to come out here and be disruptive. He got to be Godzilla. Everybody's sleeping on him. He got to come out here and do his job. You know what I mean? It is what it is. He got to come out here and do his job. So, hopefully, he's prepared. I see him out there working. I see him out there, staying true to his conditioning or whatever the case may be. But, it's a lot riding on the shoulders of Jordan Davis for sure. I think the Philadelphia Eagles need to draft another young defensive tackle. Not saying Jordan Davis is bad. You need that depth. You need that depth right there. I would highly look into Ndamukong Suh again. I would absolutely look into what's big boy, Linval Joseph, if he's a free agent again. I would look into bringing one of those guys back, because you need a healthy rotation. You need a healthy rotation at that position right now. Fletcher Cox was not at the top of his game, but he was at least at a 7.58. He wasn't far off. He was not far off. I like Marlon T for sure, but I need a veteran presence. I need more of a vet back there. I won't be surprised if we don't bring in another vet. You might see BG getting some of them reps at defensive tackle. He's done it before. I ain't mad at Calais Campbell. You know what I'm saying? North Philly Mo said, bottom line is the youngins got to step up, and that they do. Devin White got to step up. He got to redeem himself, or whatever the case may be. It's a lot of young guys on our team that got to show what they about. You know what I mean? They definitely got to show what they about. I'm intrigued to see what we do at tight end too. The Philadelphia Eagles need a tight end in this draft. You know what I mean? Anything can happen in this draft. Make no mistake about it. Anything can happen in this draft. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to hold y'all. I'm going to let y'all enjoy y'all Saturday for sure. I'm going to be around as news break. But I definitely wanted to tap in with y'all, man. I love y'all. Make sure y'all tap in. Big Print Champs. Use code Bully10. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. Me and D'Angelo Xavier, our joint project is coming real soon. We just put a little couple buttons on a couple tracks yesterday. Listen, man. Listen. Y'all know I do this, man. But this ain't the only microphone I'm dangerous on, man. I'm gonna let you know that right now, man. You can round your favorites up, man, and I will run circles around these Urkels. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I can't wait for y'all to hear this project, man. I'm working on Brunson. That's the name of the next solo joint. The joint me and D'Angelo working on. I'm extremely, extremely proud of this work that we putting in, man. And the Eagles content never gonna stop. It don't matter. I could hit the moon. The Eagles content never gonna stop. That's what we do, man. So enjoy your Saturday. You know what I mean? Grab somebody tight. Tell them you love them. Do I battle? I don't battle. I do not battle. I do not do none of that.
You want 17 birds? Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. In my line, if you want 17 birds, big ring, I play for the 17 birds. I know a guy, if you want 17 birds, big ring, I play for the 17 birds. I know a guy, if you want 17 birds, big ring, I play for the 17 birds. They had me 6 hours, I said 17 words. I'm like Shady in the snow, I spun, I'm so superb. A legend still remains when his flesh is in the earth. And if they raid your tomb, may they fall upon a curse. Yeah, this 9 I keep for backup. With this I wanted chip, we ran plays. They need to build a statue for this shit. Big